All right. Welcome. Welcome. I am the FX Savant. And we back again, once again. Time and time again with you, my friend. Here until the end. So, let me just get the whole shebang pulled up. Let me create a little story, put my link in it. And we here. Let me get one more. Okay. All right, we here. So let's jump into it. What did I have today? Going into today, I had USD CNH that was chilling right around here. It was risk free. I was looking for a nice and easy little 3R risk to reward ratio on this move to the downside. Price spiked in my favor, close to the take profit. Then it rejected from the lows very aggressively, making its way back up, breaking structure on its way back up to the upside. I was then stopped out at break even. Unfortunate, but it happens. What else did we have? AUD CAD. I had AUD CAD today. Still running from yesterday. I think I went over the breakdown yesterday in the stream. If you'd like me to do it again, just go ahead and say so. Drop something down in the comments. Make sure you like the stream if you are here. Make sure you like the stream if you are here. If you haven't and you are new, please consider subscribing. What do we have on AUD CAD? We were chilling right around here, right under this structure that was broken to the downside, so we were able to go risk free. Price then came back kind of close, but did not come back to the entry when we were risk free. So still got AUD CAD open, running, chilling, doing its thing. If I actually check it, it's probably up about 1% right now, a little over 1%. Looking for a nice 3.95 risk to reward. So almost a 4 risk to reward on this one. Also had a day trade. Euro CHF. I do believe, I don't know what that is. I do believe if we pull it up, just looking for the most common pattern in the market, man. The most common pattern in the market is just simple bada bing, bada bow, and then a break if we're moving to the upside. And same way to the downside. The most common pattern in the market is to break a level, come back, retest that level, make a new lower low. So what was I looking for? If we replay it, it is starting to get towards market close. What does this look like? We have break to the upside. We broke above some structure, came back, retest the structure. This area is previous structure. So over here on this side it was resistance, over here on this side it is support, and then throughout this whole move up, that was the only kind of pause the market took. So when it came back, I was looking forward to come retest that area. Since I had enough strength to hold on this side, it's gonna go ahead and give me enough move to go to the upside. If we play it forward, on this break of structure, looking for a nice little entry, nice little higher high to be created, some little higher low, of course, no less than a 2R, something like that. Price was playing around, broke to the upside, broke some structure to the upside, which was ideal, what I wanted to see. And then immediately broke that structure back to the downside, stopping me out at break even, right around break even. I'll let everybody know, go ahead and get out of break even if you're not. Price is playing around the entry. And you know I'm gonna talk about some patterns. What do you see forming right here? Nice and easy. This one is like 100% the setup. You have a level that cannot be broken, then finally does get broken. And then on the immediate next candle, we break back into the structure below the structure, close below, where everyone that took the impulse buy or the breakout traders had all their order limits. Excuse me, I didn't mean to hit the mic. Had all the breakout traders had their limit orders at the top, right above the structure level, looking to get long as well. Tag them in. Everyone that market entry over here tried to get in on this break above, impulse buy, emotional buy. Immediately next candle, didn't have even enough time to rethink about the trade. So then you want to see that same level be used as resistance, because it is a structure level in the market, and from there price has continued to make its move to the downside. So it's a good thing we got out at break even right around in here when we did, because price is almost to where the stop loss was generally at. So with that out of the way, we've gone over what the heck I've been up to. What y'all been up to, man? What trades did y'all take today? Anybody take any trades? Drop them in the chat. Make sure you do like the stream. If you are new, please subscribe. Just kicking it, man. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy talking to anyone who will listen about this trading thing, because I know a lot. High key, I know a lot. What's some charts we want to look at? What's it like to trade? Let's go over what we went over yesterday. So we got GBP, JPY, GBPY. Talked about GBP, JPY yesterday. Analysis proved to be accurate. Had a pretty accurate analysis yesterday. Saw some levels in the market I just wanted to be broken above. So did we look at it on the hour time frame for just some lower perspective? I think we did. I think I was saying if we get a break above this level, we could look to see a move to the upside. And then if we, on a higher time frame, daily 4 hour, if we started to break this level of structure, which we're starting to get some extreme bullish momentum to the upside. What time is it? It's not even 5 o'clock yet. Okay. So we did actually get that break to the upside. What you can now look for is, now that we are starting to break structure to the upside, is a retest back down to this area. And then from there, you can look to do whatever you want for your buy to see if the structure will make its way up, price will make its way up, or you can look for a failed impulse, look for the sale. Either one's on you, but me, I would potentially be looking for a move to the upside. Wherever this retracement stops and starts, I would look for something to break that high, or at least reach that high. So GBP JPY starting to play out nicely. I would start to look for longs now that we are starting to get some breaks above some structure levels on the daily. What did I say on the immediate time frames? That I would be looking for breaks above this area for buys if it did present itself. You see there's a nice and easy break and retest there. Most common pattern in the market, on its way up to take profit. Whoever has a take profit wherever to the upside. So GBP JPY out the way. Let's talk about USD. What did we have on gold? The analysis on gold. Actually, let me go back to, why do I keep typing GBPY? Y goes after the P always. Let me get this off the charts, and then we can come back to it again another time later in the date and see what the analysis was looking like. If I know my or not. If I know my or not. So I'll just be looking for buys from this area if we do get a retest, and we'll leave that on screen. XAU USD. Let me know, is the camera quality crispy? Your boy got the crispy quality now. I got the, let me know, turn my mic up. Got some little background music playing. Yeah. It's getting cracking now. But what did we have on XAU USD? If we go back to, where was it? Right around in here. I said I was looking for price. I think this was on a higher time frame. So on the 4-hour, yeah. We're struggling to break above this structure level, the structure resistance, and I was expecting price to probably come back down and retest some of the lows before we started to break to the upside. Since the momentum is to the upside, we've had this big move for about the month. Since the beginning of the month, we've been just moving bullish all the way up. So if we want to continue to the upside, we got to come back down, at least exhaust a little bit, correct ourselves, grab some orders, stop some people out, and then continue to the upside. So I think that I did say that price was going to probably come back down to this downside, but it did that after broke to the upside, and then immediately came back for a retest, failed to pause, failed to show any signs of bullishness, and then just crashed back down to this lower support level that we identified yesterday, that I identified yesterday. So what can we look for from here? XAU USD. I'd like to see a move back up in this level, somewhere right around in here. We have this level that was broken. So before I start looking for buys all the way back up to here again, or I would like to see the market come back in here, retest this, since this was a pretty aggressive bearish move to the downside. I might see continuation or another retest in this zone again before start to see a move that's going to break this whole structure. So I could see just some playing around, some consolidation, all this in between here. Could see it. Of course, nothing in trading is 100. And you could also get a market that just peak it, breaks down, comes all the way back down here. Looks like what Euro USD is doing. For example, Euro USD has just been breaking structure and just falling. So who knows? But I had some levels identified. Pretty clear to see. Nothing crazy. I didn't just pull a rabbit out the hat or nothing. Just some clear levels in the market that price would likely go to. But could see something like that come about. What else do we have? What is it? US30. Let's look at some US30. The dirty 30. It's about to be me. What did I have on a dirty 30? Oh, just looking for some breaks of structure. So I think everything was done on the lower time frame, on the hour. I do believe what I was looking for was price to just come back. Let's see. Yeah, price was right around in here. I want to see price start to break up. We were starting to break some structure levels in here. See price break up to this area that I identified yesterday. Coming back for the retest right in this general area right here. This is a sort of a rejection on a second retest. So what did we talk about yesterday? The price. Uh-oh. What did I have planned out? Let me pull it up. Uh-oh, didn't mean to hit the mic. I got a bunch going on. What did we talk about yesterday? So price usually gives a second try. And it's brief, it's quick. So we have price that broke above the structure, coming back for a retest with this candle, and then started to break above, failed to break and close above, and then came back for what could be a second retest, a second entry opportunity in order to see price get higher. But I do not kind of like this price action as we are breaking underneath some structure, sort of creating what are we creating, bud? A bean, and a bean. So don't really like the price action. In order for a buy, would like to see some type of move to the upside, some structure being created before you actually enter in on this market. But so far so good on what we looked at yesterday, on what I called out yesterday. So far so good. Seems like a nice little 3 for 3 day. Would have been, could have been, should have been. What was the other one? GBP JPY. Touched on GBP JPY, broke the daily structure. Starting to see moves to the upside. XAU USD. We saw the retracement come. Finally did come. What we wanted to see. Price consolidating. Kind of want to see it come back down in this area somewhere right around in here. Didn't think it was going to happen in this one day, but it did. US30. What was the other one? Oh, NAS. We want to see price from this area make and start breaking structure to the upside, making its way somewhere around in this resistance structure area, and then come back for a retest in order to get long. We did actually get the retest in order to get long, but me personally, I'd have been stopped out at break even once it came back down to this second try, which is less likely probability that the market will continue to the upside if it's failing to continue and starting to break structure to the downside. So I would like to see some structure broken on that. And then we had NAS100. So what did we have? Where was it? Somewhere right around in here. Okay. Oh yeah, did get some sort of a funky head and shoulders that failed to complete the impulse. So we were right around this area. And what I was saying you could look for is a retest of this zone right in here. You don't want to see it break above the 786 because that is the last level of structure. So you want to see some type of retest in here and then see price continue to the downside. What happened was price came right in that area, got rejected from the 786, did not break and close above it, So I know my stuff. We started to get moves and breaking structure to the downside. You probably should have been risk free because you have structure created and being broken to the downside. So if it starts to break it back up, it's not looking good for you. Then it did start to break back up. Then I think this is probably market open. And then price has continued to make moves to the upside. So partially would have been stopped out of break even over here. Would have been something like dang. Would have been something like that. Something light. Nothing too much. Would have been stopped out at break even right over here. Price would have came in, triggered this in. We would have went risk free. Stopped out, break even. Right over here. Right over here. So partially correct. Analysis played out, but the trade wouldn't have played out. And that's cool. So what else we got? We've gone over trades I've taken. Looked at a few pairs. Anything in the chat y'all want me to look at? Anybody feeling frisky? What trades did y'all take? Somebody willing to call out the trades that they took? If not, we can go ahead and hop into the topic of the day. And that is having targets. So you need to have targets on both sides. Mainly 3. You really need to have 3 targets. So you need to have an entry target, an exit target on your stop, and your take profit. So where you want to get out for a loss and where you want to get out for some profit. Because if you don't know that, then no profit is good enough and every loss can come back if you don't have clear and defined profit targets and stop out levels, which ties into yesterday's topic of you need to cut your losses and trade with a stop loss. So having a target does a bunch of things. One, it slows down the emotion process and fear of missing out. If you have targets that you've clearly back tested and you know the percentage and likelihood of your targets being met, so stop loss and take profit, you know your win percentage basically, then when price, or you're in a trade and price either gets close to your take profit, exceeds your take profit, or stop, or you get taken out at take profit, you'll be okay with any of those scenarios in the case that it happens in the market, because you know what you're going in looking for. You have a target. If you don't have a target and you get up by 2-3% and you don't have an exit target, you don't know what you're looking for. If that's not okay with you, then when you get your 2-3-4%, you're gonna want more and more and more. It's never going to be enough. And then vice versa on the stop loss side, if you don't have targets on where you want to exit the market, when price starts to come into an area that probably tells you and every other trader in the world that this is a good place to get out because my analysis is wrong, you'll let it keep going. You won't get out when you're supposed to get out, and in turn lose more money than what you need. And you need capital to play in this game. So you need to have capital in order to trade. So losing more of it than what you need isn't ideal. Also, say you're taking a trade and it doesn't hit your stop loss, or it gets close to your take profit in the USD CNH scenario. So if we take this USD CNH scenario and we look at it and say, I'm looking for 3R on this trade. if I was paying attention to what was going on in the market at the time it was all the way down here and I wasn't asleep, then yeah, I might have taken profit, but I didn't. And I'm okay with it coming back and stopping me out at break even. I don't look for a revenge trade. I don't try to immediately re-enter where I got stopped out just because price came right to my entry and is now looking like it's going to continue to the downside. No, I know what I was looking for. I know what I got. I'm okay with what I received from this trade. Yeah, and it keeps me sane. I know there's going to be another trade. There's always going to be another trade. I'm supposed to look at, what was that went off? USD Mexican peso. So price is starting to give me some of the things that I like. This is looking like a good opportunity for real. If we start to see some breakages and closures to the upsidature, we might look to enter on something nice and easy, really simple. Looking for a nice 2R little day trade. If we start to get some structure breaks to the upside, it is market close right now, so spreads and everything are playing a factor. They've widened, liquidity has dropped. So who knows? Give this another 30 minutes to an hour, see what happens in another hour, and we can be back. We'll set another alert just for our entry. There we go. But so like I was saying, price came close to my take profit and I was okay with it at where it was. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have closed early. I would have just waited for the 3R to be hit because I know what I'm looking for. If I don't get my 3R, I'm okay with not getting anything. Now, I'm not willing to lose 1R. I didn't keep my stop loss where it originally was. I moved it to my entry, but I'm okay with getting nothing on this because I know in the back of my mind I got AUD CAD making moves to the downside, breaking structure to the downside. I'm kind of mad because we're looking at AUD USD as well. So that would have been nice, but it's kind of risky to take. Okay, Mexico. All right, we know y'all jumping, but spreads is too much for me right now. So on AUD USD, it is quite risky to take a trade on correlated pairs. So it would be risky to get into AUD CAD and AUD USD, especially since they're probably going to do the same things. If AUD USD is pushing to the downside, AUD CAD is more than likely pushing to the downside. So only looking for this trade after we were risk-free on AUD CAD, but we just could not get triggered in on this trade. The price had already committed too far to the downside before we could get an entry. It would have been nice to get in on one of these candles, but the rules of the strategy says I couldn't get in until after this candle. So I had to wait. Follow your rules, man. I've been talking to a couple of traders about the torch challenges or torch challenge or whatever it is, the trading challenge. There's some people taking it and they're breaking their rules. When you're trying to display your professional trading, there should be no thought in your mind to even break your rules, especially when it's on display for a bunch of people. Now, you shouldn't be doing that anyways because a professional trader takes this craft seriously. There is no breaking rules. Don't break your rules. They're there for a plate. They're in place for a reason. If you didn't have the rules there, if you're not going to use them, why do you have them there? Simple as that. Now, the reason you have them in your trading is because they enhance your trading. So if you're not going to use your own rules that you've identified that help you out in trading, what are you doing? That's self-demise, self-destruct. And you've clearly put the rules in place to understand this is what I need to do. So not following your rules is simply saying, that's the right thing to do. Nah. I'm going to do this on purpose. Let me just mess up all my trading. But no shade to none of them. I ain't throwing no hate. I want to throw encouragement, motivation. You all can do it. But don't feel pressured or like you have to show someone something to someone. Don't go outside of your plan, over risking too big a lot size, taking the first trade that you see, rushing into trades. So I think that's happening a lot with these traders. They're just the first thing that they look at that looks good, they're getting into, which is triggering that emotion of marrying the trade. So then you get emotionally attached, and then you don't want to cut your losers, and you think this one's going to skyrocket to the moon and all those bad mumbo jumbo. So just do exactly what you did to get to the point to where you are. If you are successful or you feel like you're successful to either one of the traders, don't try to prove anything to anybody by finishing this challenge in a week. I said it to myself, and I said it in the people I was talking to about this challenge, man. I probably would lose, not because I would lose the money, but just because the other person might beat me to the take profit. I would go into it with no rush mentality. It doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't even matter if you're at the target or not. It's more important to see that you're progressing as a trader. And if someone hits a target before you make 5%, but you've steadily made 1% every week, and they made whatever it is, they're trying to reach 10% in a week, it still looks good on you. It doesn't look bad because they beat you to a target as long as you're working towards it, but it does look bad if you lose the account. I mean, everyone goes through a losing streak. I go through them. Every trader in the world loses trades. So that could be happening, but at the same time, if the traders are breaking their rules and going outside of their trade and playing the trade, you know what I mean? It's most likely not just a losing streak, but you're just not trading your plan. So, yeah, that's what I got to say on that, y'all. I would make the target. It would just be slow and steady like it's supposed to. It's not quick money. It's not fast money. But once you learn the knowledge and learn the keys to everything, then you understand that there's always going to be another trade. I say that to myself. I love that quote. I made it up. I ain't hear it from nobody. I got it from myself. Just talking to myself, losing trades, revenge trading, mad that I revenge traded, waking up the next morning with a blown account, seeing a perfect opportunity and it play out to a T, hit and take profit that could have gave me some money. And I'm like, man, if I would have just took my losses, cut my losses and forgot about them, woke up the next day, I would have what I lost yesterday plus some today. So just remember, there's always going to be another trade. Anybody got any charts they want to look at? You want to take a quick snapshot, want me to look over? I mean, your boy yesterday went, you could say 3 for 4, but I mean, originally it's 4 for 4 on the analysis on GJ, Gold, NAS100, and US30. Your boy, he kind of smashed the analysis. It would have been pretty good days. Maybe one of them would have got stopped out and break even. Well, one of them would have if we would have taken it, but that's just that. Let me know, y'all digging the music, the background music. If you'd have known what I went through to get that ready, you'd be amazed. And I made it way harder than it needed to be. And I can't even hear it. It's all for y'all. That's crazy. But I mean, we could go through it. That's what I was doing before this. Going through the watch list, all these pairs on here. Is everything on my radar every day, all day. When do I sleep? I don't. Never. When the market's closed. Friday at 5. I wake up Sunday at 5 p.m. We can go through it. AUD CAD currently in, rolling. Let's just do USDs. Euro, USD. Let's do some majors. Make sure you have liked the stream. If you have not, if you are new to the channel, subscribe one time for your boy. We're making moves to the downside. We're actually setting up nice for a move back to the upside. So we could see price come in here for the week, and then tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, towards the end of the week, start to push back up. What does it look like on the monthly? Yeah, we've had this clear move to the downside with any movement, without any movement back up. So we've just been making candle after candle after candle after candle on the way to the downside. We can't move in one direction forever. So we need a little bit of exhaustion somewhere. It's too late to start looking for sales. You don't want to sell at the lows. So prices breaking structure to the downside, you wouldn't want to sell into this market because we are due for some sort of retracement. But a move back up in here wouldn't be crazy. I mean, this was the analysis a while back. I think 2 weeks ago, I was looking for a move back down in here. Previous resistance broken to the upside, come back for a retest. It should act as support, and that's just simple trading. Nothing new, nothing crazy. Just being consistent and doing it the same way over and over and over. But on Euro USD, I mean, until we start to really find a bottom, we have some levels of structure that we need to see broken to the upside. Actually, I want to keep that on. I like that. That we have broken to the upside before we can start looking for buys. But if it does come back to this level, I mean, for a day trade, maybe, possibly, you could look for something if it starts to present itself. Something like, you know, well, you might not want to go that deep below the structure, below the zone. But you could look at something like that down to the bottom of that zone, and then you see some bounces out of here, some consolidation. Price start to turn around, make its way back up. Who knows? Who knows? But just for in the giggles. And giggles. Euro USD, GBP, USD. What does it look like? Okay. I mean, we are making moves to the downside. You don't really want to go against the trend. You see that it's been making and breaking structure to the downside over and over and over and over again. We're starting to get some retests in this area. Let's see if we pull out our fibs. I used to love trading GU as well. I don't know why, but I really followed that pair and was in tune with it. Not that that made me a good trader back then, because it didn't, but I used to love trading GU. If we pull out our fibs, we can see we've gotten a break above the 382, and then we started to break back down below it. We have a level that was in the market right around in here, this 382 level. That was resistance in here, came back, broke above it, used it as support with this wick, came back, used it as support, support. Then we broke below the level, came back to retest it as resistance, and then we have thus started to impulse back down to the downside. So we have this little structure in here that is starting to look a lot like what I talk about, the most common pattern in the market. So yeah, man, GU, we want to just see continuation to the downside until proven otherwise. So until price starts to break to the upside, especially on higher time frames, because your higher time frames triumph your lower time frames always. If it's breaking structure to the upside and you're trying to sell on the 15-minute, breaking structure to the upside on the daily, you trying to sell on the hour, it ain't gonna turn out good for you, bruh. So since we broke and closed below this low, I want to see some continuation as well. So I will wait for a pullback one more again. I want to see something get up in this area where we could see price just come retest this area once again, then show us that it wants to make its move to the downside all the way down in there. What else we got? NZD USD, the USD NZD. Well, that's pretty nice. I don't know when I drew that on there, but I'm sure I was looking for some type of retracement. It's probably on the daily. Looking for previous structure support to be retested and broken to the downside. We did not get the retest. That's probably why I'm not in the trade and forgot all about this. But as you can see, my analysis, you know, they're pretty alright, man. They're pretty decent at following the market one time. Let's look what we have so far. So we are starting to break below these lows, break structure to the downside. What are you going to look for? It's nice and easy, real simple. Just a nice and easy retest. Let me drop to the 4 hour. And let's go with move to the downside, man. So we need to see some type of correction back in this area. Really, we could just see in between that 618 and 786. Once again, the 786 is the last level of structure that the market should encounter if it wants to continue its trend. So if it breaks above the 786, we ain't looking for no more shorts, because we'll then have broken back above this structure level that we would need to re-break to the downside. We would have then broken above this structure level, this structure level, this structure level, and probably this structure level on its way to retest this area and do something crazy. So 786 is the last level of structure that the market should encounter before it continues the trend. So if the trend's to the downside, yeah, you get it. You get it. I know, I got it. You got it. What else we got? AUD. We went over AUD already. And what I was looking for did not get to blah blah blah. I can't speak. We did not get to enter in on this market. Price just didn't give me what I wanted, so I wasn't able to enter, but I was looking for this move to the downside. The rules of my strategy say I couldn't go actually look for the trade until after this candle had closed, and then I was looking for a retest, something about up in here, previous structure, support broken, now retested, as resistance. And I was looking for one more retest. Man, if I could have got that, we'd be in there, but was not. It is what it is. I got my AUD CAD popping. So what can we see on NZD or AUD USD? Same thing, man. It's going to move just like NZD USD. A lot of these USD pairs are going to move the same because they are correlated. So immediately, I don't really like it. We got structure here, structure here. And if we start to break some structure, and we also got lows right around in here. We've already came right around to the lows of this market. You don't really want to sell into the lows either. Even if you get a move back up in here, you don't really want to sell in anticipation that these lows will be broken after you've already been rejected from it, because it can easily start to impulse correct on its way up, stopping you out. So really don't like the price action on AUD USD from an hourly time frame. So as far as day trading, like some immediate moves, I really don't like it from lower time frames. From the higher time frames, I missed my entry. So yeah, there's that. What else we got? USD CHF. I was looking for a retest on here at some point. I don't think I got it. I know what I was looking for. See, that's crazy when you have a clear strategy and you trade consistently all the time. Stuff like this happens. I know exactly what I was looking for. This. If I gotta draw it out. If you hear it now, you've probably seen at least one of my videos, and in one of my videos, I'm sure I probably talked to you about a bada bing, bada boom, back down to the bada bing, bada boom. So I must not need to say no much else. Nothing much more. I was looking for that. Didn't get it though. Clearly, I didn't talk about it. I ain't in that trade, but it still could happen. Even better, would like to see this get tested now, since it is all the way back in here. Broke below, then broke back above. Support, broke below. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Broke above, not really used as support yet. So could expect to move back down in here if we do take the Fibonacci's from the high to the low. See what we look like on the daily. Some of the same. Some of the shame. Some of the shame, man. You know, we lining up right with the 50 and the 618. Pretty much right around in here. So, could see a move back down in here. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we making moves to the upside. What else we got? USD CHF. We got USD JPY. Uh-oh. We didn't really talk about Bitcoin today. Talked about it yesterday. You know what that box is. Just a pow wow explosion to the upside. We about to explode. But on UJ, we've just broken structure to the upside. On the daily time frame, a lot of momentum to the upside. If we drop down on the hour, could look for some nice little day trades on this move. See what the 4 hour look like. Would like to see this area come back. I mean, that is just straight up and down, and the market cannot move in one direction forever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, burn? So you could see possibly here. Really, you want to see at least to the 382 of this move to the upside. So let's see if we take it on the impulse. What do we get? Oh man, I forgot I did that. So we get this area right in here. This is our 382. If we drop that on the 4 hour, lining up right around this area. We could see this get retest and not necessarily this level, because if it does start to break down below, you could start to see it move back down to the downside. This is a pretty quite explosive move to the upside on the 4 hour and the daily, which could be a big grab. You know, you never want to jump in based solely off of just a hunch. Could drop back down in here. And now what do you have? You got some action like that. So yeah, but I would like to see the market make a move back down to the downside. So if you can find some sort of sale setup, you know, there's really not any opportunities to sell. You don't want to sell all the way up here. You want to at least start to see some break of structure to the downside. So at least see something broken. 15, 5, the 1 minute. You can get a break on the 1 minute or something. But yeah, we'd like to see that start to make moves back down to the downside. USD, JPY, what else is there? Euro, GBP, USD CAD. What do we have on USD CAD? My analysis be fire, boy. What? I'll be cold with it. Now, don't tell me I did it all the way back here. I'm nice. I am nice. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. So, how did this play out? Simply put, I know I was looking for a move to the upside, some sort of explosion to the upside, then a pullback, maybe a double top retest in this area, then come back down in here, maybe a double bottom break to the upside, retest this area, come back, maybe retest this previous structure broken to the upside, then see some continuation after we get a little break and retest on this overall upside resistance. Man, I'm nice. I know exactly what I said. Let's get this move to the upside. Let's start to get a little pullback. Let's see if we got a double top on the 4 hour. I know we got it on the 1 hour. There's a bunch of consolidation up there. But no, I think it just fell straight down. I think it came straight down. 2 days. 2 days. 3 days maybe. Came back. Come back, retest the oh, is this where we at today? About to say, came back, retest the structure one time, then come back down for a retest one more time, then we breaking structure to the upside. But new analysis, since we've had that move to the downside, I want to see something like, I mean, really, you could expect something like a move to the downside right in here on lower time frames. We just have a break of structure. If we go on the hour or the 15, I'm sure we had some, you know, all types of breakages of structure. This is what I'm really talking about right in here. So we had that break, but you could see it come back down to this level. This is when we really start to explode. And then make a move to the upside. That's really what I'd like to see after all this bullishness, especially on the daily. It's starting to, hold on, pimp, hold on, pimp. I might have to, you might get an inside look on what I do, but we might have to look at this later. Matter of fact, let's just do this. We'll just set an alert and come back to him. What else we got? USD CAD, Euro, GBP, JPY, CHF, NZD, AUD, CAD. Why don't I just go right here? That's all the majors, man. that's really much about it. We've been rocking and rolling for a while. About to come up right on an hour. That's really all I wanted to do. Hop on this live for about an hour, man. Let me see, Steve. Stuff. Enter your trade zone, and do you mark up zones on the 30-minute or 15 minutes? So what time frames do I usually enter trades on? I usually enter trades on the 4-hour or the 15-minute. And do you mark up zones on the 30-minute or the 15-minute time frames? No, not me. Those are too low. It's too much noise. You can't really get a general idea of direction. So you want to use your monthly, your weekly, your daily. That's why they're over here. If you look at that's why they're in this section. Your day, your 1 day, your 1 week, your 1 month is in a different bracket than your hours and your minutes and your seconds, because those are different time frames for a different purpose. Your higher time frames are for more getting direction. Even your 4-hour, I like to group in there sometimes. You can find a good illustration of the chart on the 4-hour. You can clearly see that the market on this USD CAD is making its way to the upside. We had a little pause here, and then we've came up. So we've came back down to that same area. We stopped, we got rejected. It might be a 50% or a 618, a Fibonacci touch. Of course, it's going to line up. It's no coincidence that it does. You can probably spot those and call those out all day. And then for the entry, is more so when I have all my directional aspects taken care of. So I know where I'm going to exit the market for my take profit. I know where my take profit, my entry, my stop loss is going to be. Now I'm just waiting for something on a lower time frame to get triggered in. That's really all the lower time frames are for. I wouldn't recommend doing analysis on them, but you can start to play around with some risk to rewards, do some back testing, and find something out. If you got any more questions, go ahead and drop it in the chat, man. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you got. I hope that explanation was good enough. So yeah, what I do is I look for patterns on higher time frames that I can take advantage of. So I know you've seen me talk about patterns a lot. Well, I don't know you have, but I talk about patterns a lot. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm always either talking about a few patterns. The most common pattern in the market, just a simple impulse and retracement, looking for another impulse. So you have a clear break of structure, price comes back to that structure and then continues the trend. That's really common, and you can take advantage of this. So on the hour or on the daily, let's do the daily for example. If we look at the daily, these candles, it will look exactly like how I drew it. So it'll look like this. But on the hour, what you'll get is you'll get a bunch of breaks and retests on its way down. So on the hour, you'll get a break, retest, come back. You might get a double top, it come down, and it just break through the structure, come back a little bit, doesn't really break, comes back up, comes back down, breaks back up, starts to break structure back down again on its way to the downside, and then eventually gets to the ending point of where the daily candle closes. But on the hourly, you have all these opportunities to where this could have been a winning trade, this could have been a winning trade, this could have been a, you can see all types of opportunities once you drop down. So I use my higher time frames to identify patterns that I can take advantage of on lower time frames, and then I just wait for my setups. With everything in my strategies, man, all the rules to my strategy, I just apply those over and over and over, and it's worked out so far. It's given me the knowledge to know what I've known and display what I've displayed. Debating on how I should go for my entries and marks up patterns as well. Just like that, man. I would really do them on a higher time frame. Really, you should go back and back test. Get on TradingView, get your replay tool, and just depending on how you want to do it, if you're looking for more of a day trade, you can go back and just say, all right, really this is the way that you should do it. You get on here and you get out your vertical line and you say, I want to back test a certain period. So say you want to back test 10-11 to, and go back 1, 2, 3, 4, say just 5 days, 10-6, 10-5, which is not the week. Let's just make it the week just for the sakes. 10-4, to 8. And then what you do is you take your replay tool, you go back to the beginning, and then you drop down on your lower time frames, and then you have the beginning and end of that week. So now what you'll do is you'll do your back testing. If you're looking for shorts, you'll do your analysis on your high time frames. You'll say, hey, I'm looking for nice and easy. It's the most common pattern in the market because the FX Savant said so. So I'm just looking for a lower low to be created on the daily time frame. So I know there might be an opportunity for me to take advantage of that on the hour or the 15-minute or the 4-hour or the 5-minute time frame. And then you come up with something. Hey, FX Savant guy talks about breaks and retests of structure a lot. Maybe I should look into it. We have the most previous level of support right in here. It was support all through here, broken to the downside. It has not came back for a retest yet, but it did break below major structure. That's why I don't get on the 5-minute time frame. I can't do that. Sorry, bro. So this is a lot more clear. You'll say, all right, well, we're starting to break structure to the downside. We have a clear break and close. Maybe you want to break or enter in on the retest, and you just want to target a nice and easy 2R with your stops above the high. Make it real simple. You do that over and over and over. See what you get, how it plays out, stop loss. How can you take advantage of that? All right, you had another opportunity. Maybe expand your stop loss a little bit. You understand if you can get better risk to rewards, safer stop loss. I mean, you put it above the structure. You do that over and over and over, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. You come out with some stuff that you actually work. And there you go. Or, you know what I mean? You can click the link in the description and get all that done for you. Yeah. Plug. But yeah, man, don't make it complicated. If you find yourself staring at the screen, not knowing what to do, you need to just take a step back. You're trying to move too fast in the market. If you're on the 15-minute, like as you can see, these are the only time frames that I use, and the 5 and the 1 minute are only on there just to hold place. I really don't even use them. So these are all the time frames that I use. So the 30-minute would look, let's just jump to it. I bet it looks, it looks all right. But I want to take into account the whole hour. I want the consensus. I choose the bigger numbers. I choose the daily, the hour, the 4-hour, because it's a consensus that daily takes into all sessions bias. The 4-hour takes into everyone during that session's bias. The hour takes into everyone during that hour's bias. And then once you start to break down lower than that, you're digging into, well, he thought like this for 15 minutes, but he thought like this for 15 minutes, but he thought like that for 15 minutes. Oh, it ended up being he thought like this for the whole hour. So there's really no need in dropping lower than the hour to actually do analysis. It starts to get a lot more noise and cluttered. I'm gonna shut up on that. I feel like I was talking too long, but if you got any more questions, throw them in the chat. If not, probably gonna end it here. I keep forgetting the camera's over here, not right there. So yeah, if not, I'll probably hop off here. I've updated everybody on the pairs for tomorrow on the watch list update. So I've done my due diligence. It's not like yesterday where I was dead dog tired right after I got done because I didn't do what I needed to do beforehand. Today I took care of it so I could hop on here and just hang out. But we coming to an end. I appreciate you, Steph. I appreciate you tuning in, big dog. If you haven't already, I would appreciate a like on the stream, but more importantly, I would just appreciate you subscribe and just support the content by viewing it. If you do come back, make sure the post notifications are on so you can support anytime I drop a video or go live in these streams. You will get notified and just hop in and say what's up. The people that come in early probably get probably are the ones that get remembered in all types of aspects. You look at everybody's stuff when they're early on, showing love. You know, 2 years, 3 years later, they still doing the same thing. Those people pop up. They're like, oh yeah, I remember you. I remember when you had 100 subscribers. Your boy, I remember when you had 90-something subscribers. I'm like, yeah. I remember my boy Steven. Steph Steven. Got my boy right. He got off them lower time frames and started looking at the big picture. Then he got real good. But yeah, we went over just about everything. It's probably gonna be the norm. The schedule you can probably anticipate is I'll go over the trades that I took for the day or what I was looking at, how my day went. Then I'll probably hop into just a chart analysis, just looking at some pairs, whatever anyone throws into the chat. Then we'll just wrap it up with maybe a few pairs on the major scale, maybe gold, maybe just look at some of the hot topics once again, see how the market's moving, maybe look at DXY, start looking at that. And then one little topic for the stream. What was today's topic? Having targets. So we talked about having targets. Yesterday we talked about cutting your losses early. So yeah, I think they're going pretty good. They'll get better and better the more and more I do. So yeah, we early. Nothing to it. I'm just enjoying the journey. I'll probably hop off here now, y'all. I appreciate everybody for tuning in if you did view it. Other than that, I am the FX Savant. I hope you have a profitable day on and off the charts. And until next time, I holla. I gotta remember that the stream doesn't shut exactly off when I press end stream too.